And your edition of Temidlalo on a Wednesday, this is the third edition, of course, since we moved the show to Wednesday from the usual Thursday that you're used to. Otherwise, hello and welcome. This is a beautiful edition where we'll talk about a couple of things that will give special attention to the Under COSAFA 20 tournament that will be hosted here in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Remember, we've been privileged to host the tournament. Over 10 countries, around 11 countries will be in the kingdom for the occasion, classified in two groups, with, of course, host nation Eswatini being amongst those countries. We hear from some of the officials from COSAFA, including the General Secretary, Sue Destoms, of course, giving props to Eswatini for better preparations that have been made in preparations for the tournament. We also look at how far our Football Association has gone in preparing for the tournament. More sponsors have been pulling in supporting the initiative of the Football Association of hosting the tournament, having witnessed Inyatsi Construction last week putting in over around 2 million in Marangeni. We've now witnessed this week Nedbank Eswatini also putting their share of on the table of 100,000 in Marangeni. We hear from Nedbank representative on behalf of the MD Ketsiwe Mtluli, giving her remarks on what she thinks they are doing this initiative for. It's a kind gesture we cannot look away from. Otherwise, the team we're talking about was able to face the media earlier on at Sompro National Stadium. That's the under 20 national team that will be representing the country in this year's COSAFA tournament. Head coach Mduduzi Nxumalo, in the company of Sinengosi Innocent Dlamini, they also assured the nation that they have got what it takes to go all the way to the finals of the tournament. Remember, you get to the finals, you've got a huge chance of qualification to the Africa Cup of Nations. So it is a lot at stake for these boys that will be representing the country for the next days or so. Otherwise, moving out of football, knowing that Momon Cycling Stick Tournament will be taking place this coming weekend, we'll speak to one of the club organizers from Forever Cycling Club, just to give us an overview in terms of the preparations. Remember, last week we had the title sponsor, so we will have now the club also to give us an initiative. Not only are we talking about cycling and football, because of volleyball over the weekend they were hitting the ground running. We'll also get a reaction from some of the officials of the association. Otherwise, don't go anywhere, because this is your show, this is your moment. You get to hear anything that has to do with the preparations for the under 20 COSAFA tournament through Eswatini TV app, through YouTube, and through your school channel. You can keep up with what we'll be talking about, as I'm already in the company of Linda Dlamini. Quickly, I'm in the company of also Clinton McNamara. Dlamini, nguvusele.
Ngiyabonga Fabrice, ngiyabonga sibalo wami, ngikuthoba lokukhulu ngivusele emalwel viewers ekhaya, ngivusele naye Clint McNamara.
One of the well-known cycling principal. They call them principal in cycling, as they represent different clubs. Mr. Clinton, it's a good evening and welcome to the Temidlalo Sports Show.
Evening. How are you, ladies, gentlemen, everyone there?
No, we're very good. I'm in the company of our in-house Linda Dlamini. We're just going to have to go through the preparations of this year's edition. If I recall very well, it's the fourth edition since you've partnered with Momont. And in terms of preparations, as a club, as the title organizers, how far have you gone? What can we expect? How are things at the moment?
Okay, I'd just like to correct it slightly. We as a club, there's a separation between Forever and Moment. I represent the title sponsor, which is Moment, and that's the race organizer. We are the race organizers of the event. Forever's event was held in July, and that was the Too Fast, Too Furious. So currently, this is a Moment charity event. So it falls under Moment charity. It hasn't got any club associated to it. It is Moment's event.
And then in terms of preparation so far, just give us some heads up where things are currently and how are things going at the moment.
Okay, currently we have hit our target of 150 entries. That was hit just before the closing of the first entry, which closed on Friday last week. We then reopened it by popular demand, and it closes tonight again at midnight. We've gone over 150 entries, and we seem to have 4 international cyclists from South Africa, and we expect 2 Mozambican entries before Saturday.
Beautiful stuff. I can see. Yes, yes. Go on. Yes, go on.
Yeah. We have the title sponsor has put up prize money to the value of 20,000 emalangeni across all categories. We will be having the 5 races, as we say, the biggest one being the 50-kilometer event, which we will have our eyes on Sihao Dlamini, Kwanele Chele, I believe Lungelo Dlamini, and Viz Pistorius, Mr. Pistorius from Nelspruit, as well as William Kelly in the top 5 of the 50-kilometer event. We have the 30-kilometer event, which has the up-and-coming juniors plus the national champion of Makepeace Bailey, Malik McNamara, and Siga Mayati. And we have the old man, Mr. Zwane, chasing them up from behind him to do Zwane. So we have a full race contingent in the 30 and the 50. We just received our goodie bags, which we will start issuing tomorrow from the time of 12 afternoon, after 12 o'clock midday, from Moment Electrical, which is across the road from Fitness Zone in Manzini. Goodie bags can be collected at Moment Electrical on Thursday, plus Friday we will have them in the morning at Moment Electrical up until 3 p.m. Then from 4 p.m. onwards, it will be at Manzini Club as we get to the final set out for the event.
Quick one, Mr. Clinton, before I let you go. Maybe just one of the things that the cyclists are asking themselves is to say, I mean, this is the 4th edition. The registration in terms of numbers is quite packed. What's new now? What can we expect apart from the races? You've talked about the packages. Someone is asking himself or herself to say, it's the 4th edition. What's there for me? Surprises. What can we expect in terms of colorful event competition? What can we expect on the day?
The competition is high. The race is fast. We've made it very fast, kept it within a very short loop of Elwandle and Shambeni. There is major climbs, so no one must think that it will be too fast for them. But we believe it will be a fast event, very full of exciting entries which they've never seen before, flowing tracks and gravel roads. What will happen at the club itself is there will be a departure by Sibaka group, which will then encourage the cyclists to get out and return to a family fun day where there'll be food and much more events for them to attend and enjoy. The excitement of being in the 6th event is that it's the last MTB event for the year, and the prize money and the enormous packages that we've received. We have Malandelas, we have House on Fire, Bushfire tickets, which will go out for premium, the premium gate entries plus the normal gate entries for next year's event. So in that, the packages that some will receive are way above any prize money ever seen in all the events in Eswatini.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Clinton. Can I also confirm our presence on the day? And there's no mistake, we'll be there as we've always been there. We're reliable in terms of covering sporting activities. So make no mistake, if you're on your bike, we'll be able to see you, and we will be there on the weekend.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for all your support throughout all the events, and have always been there from day one till now. Thank you very much.
much, Mr. Clinton McNamara. That is the club principal of Forever Cycling Club, but also part of the organizers. He is personally, on his personal capacity, part of the organizers of this Stick MTB race, Momond Sticks MTB race, the fourth edition that is also only remained with 4 days. This is the man that will be present at the day. Master, we are moving Clinton, where you beg on the day in terms of competition, in terms of prizes. It's one of the things we're encouraging. We see sporting codes. They should increase their potential in organizing competitions.
Yes, Fabrice, uteka yona njengoba simvile Clinton ukuthi ukhuluma ukuthi babhalisile ama cyclist inqumbi yawo la qhamuka ngaphandle ezivile bakhona laba qhamuka na sport, so ngicabanga ukuthi more than the event itself let's even nale aspect ya tourism, because siyathi ukuthi cycling bangaphandle na ba enjoy kwani. But lengicabanga ukuthi kumcwa kakhulu Fabrice ukuthi this time around bashilo ukuthi batawuqinisekisa kakhulu ukuthi kuphepha kwa ama cyclist endleleni ezibahamba la ndleleni, because kutabe khanjwa emakhaya lapha tinja batawukhona ukuthi baqinisekisile ukuthi bacela futhi kulamakhaya la dutane nalemigwaco labatabe bahamba kuyo ukuthi babambe tinja mane batkhulule nje after le race, but ngalesikhathi race bamane batibambe.
Beautiful stuff. We'll keep a close eye to those preparations. If there's any press release, of course, pertaining to this competition, there will be relevant information on our daily news bulletin. Otherwise, come this weekend, we'll be covering the event. And make no mistake, come Wednesday, we have more information, interviews, how people reacted to the race. That's not only activities, because over the weekend, when we talk about volleyball, over the weekend they had a tournament, the ongoing tournament, both male and female side. This man was present every day, everywhere. He is present. Bokona master wafika wakanza.
Yeah, Fabrice, bekuchubeka VA Cup. Siyakhumbula ukuthi kusukunyiswa VA Cup. Bekudlala ke over the weekend, bekudlala ema ladies nakudlala ema ladies becetsiswa ema games ema group stages nema semifinals kwadlalwa konke ngalelo langa. In fact nje ngalelo langa wagcina phuma ema finalist kuthi ema finalist kuyabobani. I'm sure ungagesa, I'm sure ema loyal viewers angagesa correctional and reps baya ku final again and again and again. Back final, but lengakubona Fabrice ukuthi the teams la masha ezakhele, yes, zakhele kamanzini lengakubona la ukuthi lamaqembu lamasha ayo ivolleyball la recruit nebadlali labase bancane labasebasha naka volleyball badlala ngabekisa nje ngibekise ngawo ama Scorpions. This team sike sayivakashela about a month ago lapha e technical center kaLubamba sabakhanza ba trainer and coach wabo Mathebula washo ukuthi usazama ukuthi aba adapt, but inqumbi yabo uyabobona ukuthi banika a year or two batabe sabadlala at the highest level badlala nema Black Cats ngicabanga ukuthi badlala kahle kakhulu. In fact iScorpion, I'm impressed because bawudlala ema losers final sikubita ngama losers final katsene on the day mhla ka 15 together with ema finalists la khonile ukuthi a qualify ay kuma final. Otherwise I'm very impressed with the way ema Scorpions la dlala ngayo.
Beautiful stuff, knowing that this sporting code in the country has been dominated by a majority of 2 or 3 clubs, being UEDF, being reps and correctional. You managed to speak to a few people there. Ukhulumena bani bathini master?
Khulumena Busi lo part of his association Busi Simelane labeka khona even on the day and now move naye uvumelana nami lengakubona mina ukuthi the girls this time around, because kule VA Cup Fabrice abeng 11 ema qembu abomake lokusho ukuthi angetekile from le behlale kwateka eminyakeni ledlulile bothola ukuthi ababo 7-8, but this time around abeng 11 more than ema teams abobabe, because ka B division ma teams abobabe ang 8. So uyabona ukuthi tinombolo tabomake labadlali volleyball tenyukile. I'm impressed ngaloko. Not only le tinombolo ngicabanga le competition even nale level yenyukile njoba ngisho ukuthi teams like bo scorpions bo black cats uyabona ukuthi njengoba ngisho 1 or 2 years but abe sebakulelinye level.
All right, that is volleyball as in as much as the VA Cup is concerned, because Bosi did mention a couple of things that are in line with the development of volleyball in the country, not only for the likes of reps, likes of correctional and scorpion, but the sport at large. Let's take a look and listen to what she had to say.
Okay, maybe ngaqala nje ekuqaleni ngithi I noticed ukuthi amantombazana have been motivated, maybe looking at the numbers cishe sengiwula hamba embili compared to males. We have more ladies teams than men, so lokho kuyakhombisa ukuthi they are somehow motivated. Basically, when it comes to performance, well, it's coming okay. Ngathi kunokwehluka maybe ku performance lebeyikhona before. But what I've noticed, angathi noma ngimsebenzisela lo but ngoba ngathi uyashintsha, but lekukhona nyalo sibona young ladies, young girls, being brought and recruited, and uyabona ukuthi future ikhona, it is there. But what the association has done kokuthi ithathe lamadlali laba labadala laba abaphuma kulama teams lamanye, iformisha other teams to try to retain the ladies. So lokho kuyasithokozisa kakhulu, siyakubona kuyenteka kuboma ke lokho. So in other words, ngaba ukuthi i-improvement ikhona kusisi and i-development ikhona futhi, njengoba ubona nje namhlanje lama teams laceda kudlala nje nyalo laphumako, those are young girls around 16, 17, 18 years. Ngicabanga ukuthi lo mdala ngilona abo 25. So lokho kuyakhomba ukuthi ikhona improvement, and i-performance siyayibona kuyasikhombisa ukuthi kusasa sidabane bantu labatasimele labamelele lelive ka volleyball, more especially in the ladies part.
Usisi Melane, of course, highlighting some of the things that they think should work in hand with the development of volleyball in as much as the growth is concerned. As we can expect going forward, the VA Cup or any other sponsored tournament, other the volleyball tournament, will make great heights. Otherwise, moving on, before we touch on Kosafa Master, a quick one. Vusi's marathon, one of the well-known faces, in the athletics industry. We know he passed away a couple of months ago. May he so rest in peace. But Mr. Masugu, now he has a tournament under his name, and through the partnership of Eswatini, Royal Police Services and Athletic Association, they came up with a tournament that should be taking place this weekend on the 8th of October. He was a man that we were close to. Master, what are a few words maybe you now in terms of him as a loyal person when it comes to athletics?
Fabrice, ngicabanga ukuthi isikhathi le ngimati ngaso Masuku angifuni ngena kakhulu kuleso sikhathi leso mina naye ngimati because uphinza abe ngumkhaya wami kunelikhala kubo etule eJerusalem Jerusalem wadi but yes ngiyakuvayitha ngalelinye ilanga
uyangitshela noma uyangibuza
but ke Fabrice le nguthanza kakhulu kuye ukuthi every event bokhuluma ukuthi i-event eMatubane utamkhanza yebhola sikhathi lesiningi bomkhanza, so bekumuntu beka dedicated kakhulu ekukhuliseni noma kudevelopeni kwama athletes. I remember ukuthi lama athletes la khona nyalo sibusisa ukuthi tena kafika kuma reps aqhamuka kuManzini Athletics Club wafika esandleni sakhe and wakhona usabanakekele sikhuluma ngabomlandvo Shongwe bafikile nabafika e-reps bafike bakhanza yena sikhuluma ngabo bunge ngamahlalela labakhona nyalo bafike bakhanza yena. So ngicabanga ukuthi indlela yokuthi babuyisele noma bahloniphe yena Vusi Masuku bekuthi bende i-half marathon letawuthatha ngemgcibelo khona itawuqala khona Police Academy sekwaba i-Police Academy itawuqala khona Police Academy ihlukaniswe ngetigaba letinzathu ke Fabrice kune 21 kilometers kune 10 kilometers bese kuba ne 5 kilometers. Yes, ku-register bakubite 50 rand ngicabanga 50 emalangeni bakunciphisile kakhulu ngicabanga ukuthi bendela ukuthi bamvu bete it's not about money, it's about kuhlonipha yena Vusi Masuku kunengi Fabrice lengakhuluma because all the sports la introduceiwe khona Police Academy etingayi remember nakufika ama sports lamasha wangishayela wathi le sport lesingiyasifuna nale sport lesingiyasifuna anginike amacebo ukuthi singazama ukuthi sisende kanjani and beka move ubackfield sikhathi lesithe kakhulu kunami way before me but le advice bekayifuna konke umuntu bekamnika umuntu indlebe so ngicabanga ukuthi this is the right time, this is the right way okumhlonipha yena Mr. Vusi Masuku.
May his soul rest in peace, Mr. Vusi Masuku, a very dedicated man when it comes to how he wants things to take place in sporting codes, especially when we talk about athletics. So this marathon, half marathon, has been made to be, to be honored in his name. And if you're looking at how things are standing, it could be an event that we're going to be having annually, knowing his very participation and passion in terms of sporting activities, especially in athletics. Otherwise, a short break. After the break now, we'll be giving a full focus to the Under-20 COSAFA tournament that will be hosted here in the Kingdom of Eswatini from the 7th to the 16th of this month. After this.
This is Patizon Siwe, and I will be your host for Qatar 2022 World Cup right here on Eswatini TV.
Sanibonani nosotla mahle libito lami ngilinda ngimaster ngowadlamini kuyinfokoto mbukela ukuthi nakulomnyaka 2022 umsakado Eswatini TV utakukulethela iWorld Cup Qatar 2022, the first ever World Cup letaba seMiddle East, the first ever World Cup letaba in summer.
What a way of ushering you into your festive season as we bring you live games, your chosen best games, live here on your #1 channel, Eswatini TV.
You're talking of great countries from the African continent. You're talking of Ghana, you're talking of Senegal, you're talking of Tunisia. All people representing this great continent. You'll want to follow the games.
Players like Kylian Mbappe, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, stabe sibaletha live Eswatini TV. Ndabe ngihost yakho-ke ngihleli nama-analysts, former players, the best in the kingdom. From mhlaka 20 November kuya mhlaka 18 December, ungayinzawo, bukela Eswatini TV.
To give you the best games for the best edition of the football in the world. Stay tuned, stay live. We will be here for the edition. Still with you, Eswatini TV. This is Temidlalo, your edition on Wednesday. We will now going to give full attention to the Under-20 COSAFA tournament. The Kingdom of Eswatini has been privileged to host this year's tournament, where two venues have been selected for the edition, being Somplo National Stadium, being Mavuso. We've got two groups where there is the likes of Eswatini, Mauritius, Zambia, and Angola, and another group has got also other teams that include South Africa. The tournament begins on Friday the 7th to the 16th. Now, a COSAFA team that is in charge of running the tournament is already in the Kingdom of Eswatini. Teams have already arrived in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We're going now to get to talk about how is COSAFA thinking of our preparation to this tournament. Master Sinigwel Tubanari said corner, and from where COSAFA is standing, we are actually capable of hosting the senior tournament.
Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi njoba ngike ngasho ngaveta phambilini ukuthi lesikhathi lesi ukuthi wonke umuntu lothanza umdlalo webhola ahlangane, wonke umuntu lothanza nje ema sports ahlangane, wonke umuntu loluswati nje jikelele ahlangane endele ukuthi kusasa umdlalo webhola lapha even uhlonishwe because kukhona hosta tournament le njengama Under-20. The last time sasagcina kuyihosta le tournament lena, it was over 20 years ago. So ngicabanga ukuthi unga imagine 1993 to be precise. Ungacabanga ukuthi kusithatha isikhathi esinganani ukuthi siphinde sihoste le tournament le, ngicabanga ukuthi size lesikhathi. So nyalo sinikiwe lelithuba ukuthi I'm very very happy nje ngetinhlangano noma ngetinkampani noma ngema corporates alapha event lasukumele ngendlela lasukume ngayo afuna kusekela yona le midlalo ukhuluma ngayo inyathi le sponsorship nga 2 million 2 million Fabrice Eswatini Mobile bathi bonke ama officials lataba ingcenye lemidlalo le batabanika in fact even netinzatheli Fabrice tinzatheli echemka ngaphandle siyathi mina ngengeva coach weMazulu bethe kudlala pre-season tournament la ngwane wathi the internet is poor but now Eswatini Mobile uthi no asifuni ukuthi thina nangabe kunenzatheli yala ngaphandle lefuna kuthumela editori ngaphandle yala khaya lesifuna kuthumela editori back embabane isokole so this is the right time sinike Nedbank nayo uthi no nathi ngeke sisalele ngaphandle siyafuna ukuthi lo msebenzi usukunyiswe kahle so I'm happy ngalendlela kumele ukuthi ibhola yethu ema sponsors ende kanje ongena kuba ngase kuhlatshwa umkhosi bafike basekele so thina simaswati indvo lekungamele ukuthi siyende enyalo ukuthi sihambe siyobukela support ema under 20 because baqala la kulama 20 in fact baqala kuma 17 bahambe baye kuma 20 23 senior team bajwayele ukuthi bayadlala in front of a crowd exactly ma supporters hlabelelo leto ngoma I'm happy nje ngendlela vele emaswati la responda ngayo since ik announcewe ukuthi star hosta yona iCOSAFA under 20
the COSAFA General Secretary Sue the Storms in the company of Frederick Ngometulu, the FA Chief Executive Officer, they held a press conference yesterday, Master, where they were touching on a few issues pertaining to how things are being organized. And then I think one of the things that the media, as we're present, wanted to find out is that how is COSAFA viewing us as a nation? But in terms of as a country, we've had incidents where our stadiums were banned for different reasons. Maybe we can listen to her, Master Sue at the Storms. She mentions how she's quite shocked and impressed on the work that has been done by the Kingdom of Eswatini in preparing for the tournament.
You know, it is the last time that COSAFA was actually in the country, I think, was 2003, 2004, when the COSAFA Castle Cup was still taking place. The men's senior tournament was still taking place on an individual weekend basis. So it's been a long time, apart from a very brief inspection visit last year in November. So, you know, the new look Somhlolo Stadium is just wonderful. It's a beautiful pitch and upgrades that they've done, very, very nice. Mavuso also, you know, in good condition. So we're looking forward to being able to have two first-class match venues for our tournament, which is befitting, as this is a continental qualifier for the under-20 boys.
Well, as a host federation, first and foremost in collaboration with COSAFA, because we know we're in membership of COSAFA, and the authorization to actually host, we got it from COSAFA, even though we had to get the authorization from our government in the Kingdom of Eswatini. We want to assure the various stakeholders, the partners, sponsors, that we've done our best to receive and also to ensure that we accommodate and provide all complementary infrastructure, facilities and services for all our visiting delegations from all the 11 other countries and beyond, because we know this is an international competition.
Master, we move Sue the Storms. Last time she was here was in 2003. So figure nyaro 19 years later. I mean, Somhlolo is got a new face. Mavuso is quite impressed and how things have been organized, the infrastructure.
Back then there was no Mavuso.
There was no Mavuso, yes. The infrastructure, but forgetting the one tigahle. But I think nang move so is like, because at some point also the question that followed was that, do you think we can host maybe women's tournament, seniors tournament? And yeah, I think she put it in a way you could see my evaluation anyway. We are capable. But from where we're standing, if we can impress COSAFA, do you think we're heading into the right direction? Of course, Kenneth also, Makanya had to come in and express a point. Yes.
Fabrice, angifuni kusinga ema praises ku noma kudumisa buholo lobusha be Football Association.
Yes.
Noma president lomusha ndoba specific nje. Ungene office last year. Nakangene office asasibuke onke lama sponsors la funekti partnership na Football Association. Ngiyakhumbula nabo lontsha iSwaziland Sugar Association junior tournament
Yes.
elibonjeni
Yes.
yafika iPick and Pay ma under 15 yafika iNyathi
Yafika Instacash.
yafika Instacash
Ihambe tonke tifunza telisi.
exactly Instacash yafika iNyathi yafika Eswatini Mobile yafika Nedbank about 6 or 7 corporates lafuna ukutimata within a space of a year.
And masa sikhulumela ukuthi Nyaro, those are projects under Football Association because noma singakhuluma kwa Premier League naye kuyamtsinza because now when they got under the new leadership
Exactly.
Momo Cup figure under his leadership.
So ngicabanga ukuthi akwende tinvo ngiliphutha if someone lo understand the corporate world angenile a part of football ema sponsors are understand so okay nang one of us let's ukhuluma invo yenye business because even football i business so now kunyalo some of ema sponsors sikhuluma ngaNyathi ukuthi 2 million Fabrice akusiwo umdlalo loyo ukuthi bangamfaka ku COSAFA under 20 I think they came in at the right time ukuthi ba sponsorishe ibhola so ngicabanga ukuthi lama praises vele stabashayela tandla lapho khona kumele sibashayele tandla they are doing very well asibanikele le credit labayideservako njengoba ngisho ukuthi iNyathi Eswatini Mobile Nedbank.
Okay, ngiyakuva maso since labafakela kuncane but ke now COSAFA so very khona master ukhuluma ukuthi I impressed ngama venues in terms of where the games were played. We have got only 2 stadiums but now in Sabale master it's training facilities. I'll give you an example. Under 20 Eswatini bebachima namuhla ekseni Zambia beyichima and that's a venue that is going to be hosting the games. Fine, ikona element because you want to be familiarized yourself with the venue but outside the 2 venues
Fabrice ngiyakhumbula lo say even nase Prince of Wales ama teams ataba ashimela khona ushilo Hadebe Monday nakafikelela
Police College Njabulweni
Police College nasenjabulweni but ke Fabrice ngicabanga ukuthi inzaba ema venues because utawudlalelwa ku 2 stadiums lama games lawa Somhlolo na Mavuso but nginakamnelo ukuthi sekusengibuyela kuyo yona le leadership yaka Football Association kuthi nabangena Somhlolo na Mavuso bebabenchishiwe ukuthi bangahost international games but somewhere somehow they able to convince CAF ukuthi at least lokungenani for a short period mane kudlaliswa ama games naku kuyadlalwa kwaSomhlolo emavuso kuyadlalwa so ngicabanga ukuthi the 2 venues vele are within the corridor for the teams latabe akhampile enjabulweni lataba jimele enjabulweni lataba jimele police correctional batabe base correctional nalapha ePrince of Wales ngicabanga ukuthi for them it convenient because kututane and kuyahambeka nalamgwaqweni so ngicabanga ukuthi lapho nalapho asibanikele njoba ashilo yena lo labekamelele iCOSAFA ukuthi Somhlolo so renovatiwe yes singasho ukuthi iministry idlale inzima lenkulu nalapho urenovatiwe Mavuso nayo sesimele sikahle at the moment so ngicabanga ukuthi the teams afikile some of them afikile base Zambia sebafikile labanye sibagadzile kusasa ukuthi bafike so ngicabanga ukuthi nabo kude lokukhala lokutabanganana ukuthi ay lama stadiums aseSwatini awekho esimeni lesikahle because Somhlolo artificial turf yisha emavuso iturf yakhona ibeyinakekelwa for the past 2-3 weeks so ngicabanga ukuthi tonke tinvo at the moment dimenge mumo.
In terms of also the venues, what I liked if I looked at their schedule is that good ukuthi group A Somhlolo kuphela, group B usemavuso there is that mixture khona la stabona under 20 abadlala emavuso khona stabona abadlala Somhlolo but let's talk about also facilities where they are staying, hotels. I think majority now sive ukuthi base bo Hilton labanye base Happy Valley that classness of hotels also I think it applies ukuthi they can find themselves giving us proper rights to say take the senior women tournament.
Fabrice njoba ngisho ukuthi because lama officials eCOSAFA la khona ukuthi abone tinvo ukuthi le tournament lena iya kuphi kulomnyaka lotako noma kulolo landzelako bayatibuka le tinvo leto babuka bafike babuke emahotela ukuthi labe sihleli sekhona lama teams labe hleli khona lama officials some of ema officials nje ahleli la kubo Hilton nakubo Mathapa so bayatibuka tonke le tinvo leto ukuthi if singaletha iCOSAFA yabo make bathafike baphatheke njalo lama teams athafike adlalele kuphi kufika estadium akusiyona inkinga emahotela so ngicabanga sitonke le tinvo leto batibuka at the moment thine angifuni ukudumisa kakhulu we need a stadium yes but at the moment what we have we can host a tournament maybe women COSAFA even nalezi senior men's COSAFA singayihosta because idzinga only 2 ama stadiums eSouth Africa bavamise most of the time basebenzisa 2 ama stadiums so nathi somhlolo mavuso singakhona ukuthi sihost and emahotela ke uyinanana the corridor manzini mbabane tinvo tethu so ngicabanga ukuthi kancane those baby steps in 3 years 4 years 5 years who knows
Who knows? After 4 to 5 years, the Kingdom of Eswatini could stand a big chance of hosting the senior tournament, be it male or women team. Now, I want to touch also on the issue of sponsorship that Master was very much on prior to this discussion of facilities because, Master, where I'm standing, I think prior to winter, COSAFA at some point in one of the local papers, it was highlighted, I don't know how true it is, that to host a tournament of this magnitude, you need a budget of between 10 to 20 million rands, 20 million emarangeni. Inyatsi fage 2 million last week. Nedbank fage 100,000. Sesikhulumela etuwa 2.1 million emarangeni. I'm not sure if Eswatini Football Association can give you figures to how much they have spent as an association to also take this tournament on. But so far, from what we're watching from behind, would you say everything is going accordingly? Commending, of course, the likes of Inyatsi and Nedbank for their job of putting something.
I think so far kusahamba kahle Fabrice kusahamba kahle cishe lama officials because I remember weekend nasibona wona ama officials aka COSAFA efika sababona so sebahledi sikashanyana la and ngicabanga ukuthi kude sebe kwakhuluma ke nabo kude mhlambe longasho yena ukuthi uphatheke kabe Eswatini bakhale ngendlala siyathi ukuthi khithi lamanye imave yes ama officials bawaphatha kahle but the teams la ayo hostwa lapho awaphatheke kahle so le mali le fakwe nginyatsi lo 2 million ngicabanga ukuthi utawudlala inzima lonkulu remember ukuthi inyatsi vele isemaveni 9 countries in Africa le incumbi yawo angala ku SADC region le tsinzako vele lamave la tawudlala la ku COSAFA bo Zambia bakhona bo Botswana bakhona Eswatini bakhona so ngicabanga ukuthi nakubo kuyaba benefita more than ku benefita yona ibhola yalakithi so le mali nje itawusebenta kakhulu ekraneni le tournament lama officials la tabakhona la so ngicabanga ukuthi if besi ibhola besibambisa kanjena Fabrice all these years ngicabanga ukuthi ngabe sesi a bit further nangibeka kanjalo because info le driver inakhuza kakhulu noma lethuthukisa ibhola kakhulu emhlabeni worldwide siyabona ukuthi info lethuthukisa ibhola imali FIFA unema sponsors akhe kurana i-tournament nanje World Cup Qatar 2022 kunema sponsors incumbi bo Adidas bafaka imali labo bafaka so ima sponsors la njengabo Nedbank yes Nedbank 100,000 malangeni naye unawo le sponsorship lezi sitawudlala inzima lenkulu kakhulu kukhona la stafike sisebenze khona so ngicabanga ukuthi it's a high time ema corporates afika a partnership nayo ibhola.
All right, it's high time, as you can see on the video on the screen. That is MD, Managing Director of Nedbank, Representative Ketsiwe Mdluli. She's head of retails, and then that is the tournament's Managing Director, Mr. Shongwe. And then that is FA Football Association President, handing over Sihlangu replica to Ketsiwe Mdluli, head of retailers at Nedbank Eswatini, and who is also representing the managing director. And this is the event where Nedbank was, injecting in over 100,000 emarangeni, and of course other officials from Nedbank also got a chance also to get that beautiful blue replica of Sihlangu.
And as a sakatile Fabrice as my stakeholders will see. Mhlambe salithola lelijezi ukuthi naso cover lama games babona ukuthi Fabrice Msonero uqhamuka eSwatini Lingadla mqhamuka eSwatini Phathizo Mso uqhamuka eSwatini Sorenso uqhamuka eSwatini ibonakala ukuthi nathi siya representer wa proud kuba maSwati so Who knows?
Charity begins at home.
Yeah,
Funeka
maybe
bangabaqale
kumele
ngathi.
sale siya president.
Yeah. Yeah, ngoba lendlela uthekako maybe labanye bacabanga ukuthi already sinawo, so uyobaqanisa expose now. And that is the event that was held over the day. And let's take a look at the two speakers on the day, be it Ketsiwe Mhluri and the President Peter Samora Smilan. What do they have to say about the sponsorship, the tournament itself? In one of words that they highlighted, it is the issue of tourism and the economy, as the tournament has the capability of attracting world and regional investors as far as COSAFA is concerned.
We believe that there's still great potential to help develop the game of football in Eswatini, which ties well with Nedbank's purpose to do good for our community, particularly at the grassroots level. We are happy that besides the benefits of hosting this tournament to the football industry, there will be a spillover in terms of the benefits, especially in the tourism industry and also the economy at large.
It is with great extensive accolade and opportunity on behalf of the Executive Committee of Eswatini Football Association and the entire football family to make a remark at this launch of the investment by Nedbank Eswatini towards the implementation of the Total Energies Under 20 AFCON 2023 COSAFA qualifiers to be hosted here in Eswatini from the 7th to the 16th of October 2022. May I launch my remark by expressing our genuine gratitude to Nedbank Eswatini, who by this investment have inscribed their name as sponsors in the advertising category of the tournament. Nedbank is now a COSAFA sponsor in the implementation of the 2022 Under-20 tournament, which also carries a ticket to the finals of the Total Energies Under-20 AFCON 2023 to be hosted in Egypt next year. Football is herefore extremely humbled. Our chief obligation to this investment will be, together with COSAFA, to implement a successful tournament to the satisfaction of the partners and sponsors, and whilst doing so, present them as responsible citizens to the various economic and social needs of the population.
The two speakers during the sponsorship launch, Ketsiwe Mhluri and Peter Samora Smilan, expressing their appreciation on both sides and also highlighting the importance of this tournament. Talking about the importance of the tournament, there are boys who are representing the country. I'm calling them boys because they are wearing the colors of the country. They are representing the country in this year's tournament. They are also in the presence of the country, and I think at the stadium, members of the public would appreciate that it will be free to watch these games. So the boys are aware that being there, it will kick in as a motivation to them to be able to be watched on home soil. So they have been preparing for a couple of weeks. Today they faced the media at Somplo National Stadium Master, and team would see they have been together for some time. But Coach Ngumalo Karangaro would see some of the players basesikolweni khona iperiod bokhanza ukuthi 12 wabadlali baba release for a week baphinze babuya. Nanamuhla, I think during a media press conference, the captain was not present. He had to go for assignments. Disturb in terms of planning the arrangement. But on top of that, Master, shying away from that, do you think the team has got what it takes with bangafika kuma finals? Jengala ukuthi afisa ukuthi bangafika kuma finals, Coach Ngumalo.
Fabrice, ngicabanga ukuthi before sifike lapho njengoba le ma challenges lo siwabekile ukuthi vele ama under 20 most of them asesesikolweni asafunza, and these days inqumbi yetikolo abalungiselela ema exams, so unga understand I frustration yakhe. Coach, I remember nge weekend after a game ye Highlanders ne Thabankulu Kellies, just after the game bavele bangena khona training, washo coach ukuthi ukuthi kumele babathole ngaleso sikhathi leso because during the week kulukhuni some of them kubathola because basuke bachamuka ejimini, but the boys this whole 3 weeks have been hard to training bajima bamisela and uyabona ukuthi, and what I like about this team Fabrice ukuthi this is the same team leya eLesotho last year kuma zone 5 games eLesotho kuyodlala some of them, and nawubuka ke Fabrice kule squad lesikhona lesi, I'm happy ukuthola because under 20 Fabrice vele kakhulu uthatha labadlali le some of them kulama regions. Nawubuka nje ukuthi about 10 uma teams la represented la ngekho ka Premier League, la ngekho ka First Division, ukhuluma ngama teams la njengabo Hluti Terras,
Lutse Killers,
Lutse ika First Division, bomhlamba nyathi community club abekho kapa bengekho ka First Division Pronyoto Enyalo, all those teams Bonavara balenga pass. So ngicabanga ukuthi those teams ngiwulevelele kumele ukuthi approach badlali laba because bona esikhathini lesiningi phambilini bothola ukuthi labadlali bayadlala etikolweni and they are good. So ngicabanga ukuthi coach Sia, because he is the trainer, is a seasoned physical trainer lapha ebholeni, he knows ukuthi badlali labangakhona ukuthola isikhathi lesanele kudlala ama games lamanengi, badlali abangakhona ukuthola i-training kahle kumele ukuthi bende kanjani. Mtutuzi Sikhalo Nxumalo ngicabanga ukuthi naye he's been with ku setup yema juniors ku national team, he knows nyalo kubutile ke Fabrice ukuthi are they capable kufika kuma finals.
Goalkeeper coach
Fabrice, I think if
young material most
young material Fabrice, because une experience he played at the highest level, wabakhona even nagbo Mbabane Highlanders, nagbo Royal Leopard. So I think
this is the technical bench.
The technical bench le hetwa nguye Sikhalo Mtutuzi Nxumalo, yes, ngicabanga ukuthi they have to be united. More than anything, the spirit sabo, because if ni technical bench ningasiko united kuba nemthelela kulaba labadlali abancane bese le spirit asabe khona. Otherwise the way the team loyibona ukuthi ijima ngayo ngicabanga ukuthi iyakhombisa ukuthi they are ready to fight.
Master ngizokujuba mbona sikhathi, but nangibuka le group sabuka le titfombe master, sine Zambia, sine Mauritius, sine Botswana. Nawubuka game yethu yokucala against Botswana, siyaqhubeka siya ku Zambia bese sigcina ku Mauritius. Can you take 9 points lapho?
Fabrice nangibuka iBotswana by now kumele ngabe sese understand ukuthi idlala bhola bani. Remember ukuthi sidlale nabo ku Kosafa, sadlala nabo 2 games ku Chan, first leg na second leg, sadlala kuma under 23 first leg second leg. Nyalo sosiyodlala igame is 6 within a space of about 6 months. So dlala 6 games against Botswana. By now our coaches, because if we enter a thorough analysis yeBotswana, you know ukuthi badlala bhola bani. So the first game akamele ukuthi ibe inkinga Fabrice against Botswana. Mina nje ngikathe ukuthi lokungenani siwin nangabe sihlulekile sidrawe. The only team Fabrice lengivanga ingaphosa isinike inkinga iZambia. Yes,
knowing that they have under 17 that is quite strong, and bana umathuwa ukuthi bangayi promote ifike kuma under 20.
And remember this tournament Fabrice akusiyo nje Kosafa, isebenta as ama qualifiers
regional qualifiers.
Yes, ama regional qualifiers. The top 2 lalabata ufika kuma final lo number 1 na number 2 but awuthola ticket lekuya kuphi Egypt for the AFCON under 20. So ngicabanga this is the right way of making history. These boys they'll want to create their own piece of history by becoming the first ever Swazi side ukuthi linga qualify for a major tournament loku AFCON. So ngicabanga ukuthi nabo labahleli khona, I know ukuthi they are watching this show, kumele ukuthi basende sibe proud singamaswati.
On top of that, if they qualify for the semi-finals, that if they now into the AFCON, if they qualify for the semi-finals during the Africa Cup of Nations, they have already qualified for the World Cup, Under-20 World Cup. Now, Coach Mduduzi Nxumalo, in the company of Assistant Captain Sinengosi Innocent Dlamini, what do they have to say about preparations of the tournament?
Yeah, ngicabanga siyalungiselela akhona nama challenges but my challenges la lesingesiwabalekela because we have a few players who are writing their external exams. We are hoping that tomorrow Babalexen, so they will come and be a part of us. They haven't been with us as they were preparing for their exams. But with the guys that are here, I think they are ready. We've almost prepared everything because it's not a tournament. We are aware of the tournament. We know the expectations. We know the magnitude of the tournament. So I'm thinking we prepared well for the tournament.
They're ready for the tournament. Ngoba konke abasifundise kona sitabaniketa lesihlalo. Le game ecala lesingakusho nje thina ukuthi sitayithatha bathanza bangathanzi. Yeah, i-pressures nayo but kuthi nasitongana lesingakwenda. Sitawukhona ukumaintaina lesiku-maintaina. Akabi lula masaqala kusajima. Khona besilwa khona but nyala sefomini sonke sikahle.
The team in full strength, the team in full focus, the team in hard preparations for the 2022, COSAFA Under-20 tournament. Master Savaris, Ubaniga in December, Rabafan. Nasbuya la Monday for Ripple Eswatini. I think they will have played a game already for Friday. And if possible, Monday as well. Because the next month, if I'm not mistaken, by Monday, they should have played 2 games in the afternoon. So can we say by Monday, you'll be confident to go to whatever 6 points?
Yes. If the vice captain akhuluma kanje ukuthi the first game sitayithatha bathanza noma bangathanzi ngilele ngufunako ke lokho mina ngifuna ukuthi badlali umdlali mina angifuni akhulume athi sitawubona khona no funa athi siyothatha ama point 3 points that's the spirit elosingako kubadlala ba under 20 athi lo mdlali nakakhula khule naleyo spirit leyo ukuthi nangeke mina ngila 3 points lokungenani the point, but 3 points ngiyamthola.
Beautiful stuff. That is Linda Dlamini. Thank you very much wherever you are also to listen to this man. He's a man that you can rely on. Now, wherever you are, you might be thinking, this is Eswatini TV. Whatever we do, we meet you halfway. All Eswatini Under-20 games will be live here on Eswatini TV. Friday we have a date from 2 to 3. That's the build-up. Friday we have a date where we will be giving you live the game between Eswatini and Botswana. It's going to be live on your #1 channel, Eswatini TV. Come against Zambia. It's going to be live. Come against Mauritius. All Eswatini games, they are live. That's the only thing, because the Laragamnans.
At Spar, we've checked every price, counted every coin, and cut every cost to bring you Spar's Super Saver Week. Get even more for your money, like 250-gram Nescafe Red Coffee for just $34.99